Welcome to Heartfelt with Julie Margerison, a space for honest stories, tender truths, and soul-deep conversations. I'm your host, Julie Margerison, and here we explore the questions that stir something real in us, questions about joy, fear, healing, and the moments that shape who we are. Each episode is an invitation to slow down, go deeper, and hear the kind of stories that remind us we're not alone in this human experience. So wherever you are right now, thank you for being here. Let's begin. Welcome to Heartfelt Julie Margerison podcast. This is a solo episode, and the topic that I want to talk about is taking it personal. This has been a big learning thing for me, and taking it personal was something I was a queen of. I thought it was always my fault. It was always something I did wrong, and it was something that I'd often be in reaction to. I just want to talk about a few circumstances where I've taken it personal and when it really wasn't my issue, and it was actually being mirrored to me by the person opposite me. And I was really happy when I got to a point in my self-discovery journey that I could actually see it as awareness and not reaction. Growing up, if anything didn't ever go as smoothly as it was expected of, I always thought it was my fault. And I went into people pleaser mode, and I was on tenterhooks. I would be trying to make everything smooth so that person wasn't in reaction. And it really had a big influence on how the day would go. So I didn't want there to be a moody person in the house. So I would try and be jokey, or I would just try and just do anything that would make the energy shift into a joyful energy rather than this very heavy energy. I just always thought it was my fault. Something I didn't do properly. I didn't make the coffee right. I didn't have my bed made properly. I didn't have whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I always took it on as it was my fault. Many years later, I come to understand that it was nothing to do with what I did. It was that person's thing, that person's reaction that I was feeling the brunt of. And I ended up one time just losing it and just saying, I'm sick of this mood. What can we do to get you out of this mood? And that really startled the person. And that's all they needed. And it snapped them out of it. But oh my goodness, my heart was racing when I actually did that. But I felt like it wasn't fair that everyone in that situation had to cope with the moody person. It was something that we just thought was normal, but I didn't want that anymore. So I feel that was the first time that I really stood up and didn't take it personal. Fast forward quite a few years later, I can recall another time that I thought that this is how things were going, but this other person had a different agenda to me, and I thought I was in trouble. I thought that I didn't do things right, but I later found out that it actually had nothing to do with me. They'd had a fight with their loved one before they came to work, and even though I was feeling the energy, I automatically thought it was my fault. It was really good to know that it wasn't my fault, but I still can see in my timeline that I can take things personally. It can show up in a text message that has been sent by me and I don't receive a message back. I go into my head and think, oh my goodness, do they like me? What have I done wrong? What should I have said? And the mind chatter just really shows up. I still don't understand why people don't reply to messages. Is it because they're too busy? Is it because it's not a priority to them? Is it because they don't like me? I don't know. I really don't know. But all I can say is when I send that message, I'm sending it with love. I'm sending it with curiosity. If I'm asking a question, I'm sending it to get information. So I have learned not to take it personal if I don't receive a message back. I am still a little bit question mark on whether do I have to send a follow-up one because maybe life has been busy and they have just forgotten to reply because maybe they were in the middle of driving when they received the message. I still don't know the answer to this, but I am trying to work on intuitively whether to would it hurt to send another message? And I have come up with this decision with this person who I have actually sent 3 messages to and still no reply. And it it was actually a guest on my heartfelt episode, and I was just wanting a photo that I could put on the thumbnail. And I have not received a reply. What does this actually mean? Do I take it personally and think she doesn't want to be on my podcast? Or do I take it that maybe she didn't even see the messages? But after sending it 3 times, I feel like surely the message has gotten through. So I have decided not to air the interview because after 3 strikes, I feel like I can't ask again. And I hopefully got the message right that she doesn't want her interview aired. Who knows? I wonder if I'll ever find out. I did go into the headspace of, well, maybe she doesn't like me anymore or whatever reason, but I just have to hop back in my fence and go, for whatever reason, it's not aligning. The universe is putting up these stop signs. So I have plenty of content. I have plenty of guests. I have plenty of opportunities of interviewing people. So this one is just being put in a not used folder at the moment. So we'll see if it ever goes to air. Another thing that I do realize that I take personal is when I go to say something and it's perceived differently to how it has been meant. And then it comes into my mind. Did I get it wrong? Or is that person perceiving it differently and there is no right or wrong? It's just a misunderstanding. That is a tricky one for me because sometimes I feel like I cannot be any more clearer on what I've said, and I feel that person is in reaction, and subconsciously they don't know they're in reaction. And there's a part of me just hoping that in time I will get an understanding of what that meant and growth and the chaos. When chaos comes, I always do find that growth follows not far behind, and I do get an understanding of why that situation happened. It is still a learning thing for me. And I think the big thing for me to do is just spend a lot of time with my inner self in meditation, in journaling. When this situation does show up, I journal about it and I normally do get some insight. Is it their truth? I don't know. But it feels like it's my truth and it helps me move forward. And I feel that when I keep having the looping thoughts, that it is the mind controlling matters. So I do take a few deep breaths of breathing in love and light, breathing out happiness, breathing in love and light, breathing out heaviness. And I keep repeating, alternating, and then it'll come to a stage where the loop is not happening, and then I'm back into my soul and out of my head with no resolution on were they taking it personal or were they not. But I was feeling very calm and not reactive in myself. So I feel like it wasn't my thing. If breathing in love and light, breathing out happiness, breathing in love and light, breathing out heaviness still helps that feeling to be felt, I then have to set aside time where I journal or sit with it in meditation in my pyramid and really feel what is coming up. And then I normally get the answers that I have been searching for. So that's a little bit about me and my journey on taking it personal. I see it is still ever evolving, and I know that I do obtain a lot of growth from it and a lot of self knowledge. So thank you for sharing this moment with us, and I hope something in this conversation stayed with you, opened something in you, or simply made you feel seen. If this episode moved you, feel free to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to continue the journey with us, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, take care of your heart and remember, your story matters. Thank you for listening.